Did you know the Caspian Sea is essentially a private backyard for Russia and Iran? For these two nations, it creates the ultimate safe zone, a secure corridor to transport weapons completely out of reach of international interference. So, how did Ukraine manage to launch a drone strike hundreds of miles away, right into the heart of this heavily guarded haven? First, they tapped into Allied satellite intelligence. Using precise coordinate mapping, they were able to pinpoint the exact locations of Russia's fierce anti-air defense networks to find the blind spots. Next, they deployed a drone specifically programmed to fly incredibly low, practically skimming the water's surface to stay entirely off the radar. Once it slipped into the Caspian Sea, the Ukrainian drone went on the hunt. It homed in on its target, slamming directly into an Iranian ship and blowing it to pieces. So how exactly did the Caspian Sea become the ultimate secretive safe route for Russia and Iran? Well, it sits in a massive basin right on the border between Europe and Asia. It is surrounded by exactly 5 countries: Russia to the northwest, Iran to the south, Azerbaijan to the west, Kazakhstan to the northeast, and Turkmenistan to the southeast, while Ukraine and Europe is almost 800 miles away. Because there is no natural outlet to the world's oceans like the Atlantic or the Indian Ocean, the water level is sustained almost entirely by the rivers that flow into it, most notably Russia's massive Volga River in the north. If you are a ship in the Caspian Sea, you cannot sail to anywhere else in the world. You are confined to those waters. While the Caspian is disconnected from the ocean naturally, Russia engineered an artificial exit for itself during the Soviet era. The Volga-Don Canal is a 101-kilometer waterway that connects the Caspian Sea via the Volga River to the Sea of Azov and the Black Sea. It allows Moscow to move smaller warships, patrol boats, and supply vessels from the completely secure waters of the Caspian directly into the active war zone around Ukraine. Because the canal runs entirely through internal Russian territory, they can move this military hardware without exposing it to the open ocean or foreign tracking. To move thousands of drones, artillery shells, and missile components without interference, Russia and Iran rely on a few key tactics: dark fleets and disabled tracking. Iranian and Russian cargo ships frequently turn off their AIS transponders or broadcast fake signals once they enter the Caspian. By going dark, these ships become ghosts on international tracking monitors. The Volga River and Canal Network. Once Iranian ships dock in northern Caspian ports like Astrakhan, the weapons are offloaded and moved up the Volga River. Russia uses the Volga-Don Canal to move these supplies internally all the way to the Sea of Azov and the Black Sea, directly supplying the front lines in Ukraine without ever leaving Russian-controlled territory. But how did Ukraine hit a cargo ship when itself is 800 miles away? To pull off a strike over 1,000 kilometers away in the landlocked Caspian Sea, Ukraine had to completely rewrite the rules of long-range engagement. With absolutely no naval access to those waters, they had to rely one-way attack drones. They used custom-built systems like the Ludi strike drone and even converted Aeroproct, a 22 ultralight aircraft. These machines were specifically engineered to bridge massive distances, capable of flying autonomously for 1,500 kilometers while carrying heavy explosive payloads. To avoid electronic warfare and signal jamming, these drones didn't rely on active remote piloting. Instead, they were pre-programmed with precise GPS waypoints, flying silently and autonomously toward their target. But having the range was only half the battle. To reach the Caspian Sea, these drones had to survive flying over massive stretches of highly defended southern Russian airspace. Before launching, Ukrainian intelligence meticulously mapped out the blind spots in Russian air defense networks, charting a path through Panzer and S-400 missile batteries. The drones were programmed to skim the terrain at extremely low altitudes, flying beneath the horizon line of long-range Russian radars to remain virtually invisible. To ensure the main strike force made it through, Ukraine launched a vanguard of cheaper decoy drones ahead of them. These swarms deliberately triggered Russian air defenses, forcing anti-aircraft crews to waste their ammunition so the primary drones could slip past during the chaos of the reload. Once over the Caspian, the final challenge was finding the target. Iranian cargo vessels frequently turn off their tracking transponders to become ghosts on international monitors, but they cannot hide from real-time satellite imagery. On July 25, 2026, the hunters acted on those coordinates. A Ukrainian attack drone skimmed dangerously low over the waves, flying blind under strict radio silence, trusting entirely in the math provided by Allied intelligence. Miles out, the drone popped up. Its terminal guidance systems roared to life, snapping its crosshairs onto a massive silhouette emerging from the sea haze. The onboard AI confirmed the target, the Anna, also known as the Port Olia 2. There were no evasive maneuvers, no anti-aircraft fire. Just a direct, unblinking lock-on as the drone began its fatal dive. The strike was absolute. Traveling at high speed, the drone slammed into the steel superstructure, detonating a 50-kilogram, 110-pound high-explosive warhead. In a fraction of a millisecond, a devastating overpressure blast and a cloud of superheated shrapnel ripped outward across tens of meters. The immense thermal spike instantly ignited the ship's vital systems. What began as a stealthy transit across the ocean ended in catastrophic, uncontrollable structural fires, leaving the vessel dead in the water and burning in the dark. So how exactly did the Ukrainians manage to get past the anti-air defenses? The drones launched from Ukrainian territory under the cover of clouds, originating from several staging areas near the Ukrainian-Russian border. Ukraine's strategy was designed to completely overwhelm the Russian anti-air defense system. The trick here is to launch multiple attack fixed-wing drones, frequently rounded up to 1,000, along with about multiple cruise missiles. Flying at a low altitude and programmed to follow the terrain's contours, the lead elements entered Russian airspace, threading their way through the outer defense cordons. As for how far they traveled, Moscow lies roughly 460 to 750 kilometers from Ukraine's eastern front lines and upwards of 1,000 kilometers from launch points in central Ukraine. These distances put the capital comfortably within the operational radius of the drones. We know that Russia possesses some of the best anti-air defenses in the world, like the S-400 and Panzer systems. Working together, the S-400 destroyed most of the incoming cruise missiles, but the Panzer had to do the heavy lifting against the drone swarm. Its onboard computer calculates the target's trajectory and commands the launch of solid-fuel missiles for long-range interception, followed by rapid bursts from dual 30mm autocannons to destroy anything that gets too close. Together, these defenses can take down 500 drones in 2 hours, with about a couple hundred of those shot down as they approach Moscow. In just one night, Ukraine struck more than a dozen Russian regions simultaneously, stretching from Rostov in the south to the Moscow Ring in the center. But what was the secret drone that managed to bypass one of the best air defense networks in the world? For years, Ukraine had been developing the Fury long-range drone. The primary platform was the AN-196 Lubio, a $40,000 tailprop drone developed by Ukraine's Antonov aerospace firm and associated manufacturers. It essentially acts as a low-cost Tomahawk cruise missile, roughly the size of a single-engine trainer aircraft. Its terrain-following capability is what makes it operationally decisive. Rather than flying a predictable altitude profile that is easily tracked by radar, the Ludio hugs the Earth. It follows rivers, valleys, and tree lines, threading through gaps in radar coverage like a ghost. The Ludio is assembled, armed, programmed, and takes off like an airplane from a regular stretch of road or an airstrip. The launch team then quickly disperses before Russian forces can counterstrike the site. These launches are carefully coordinated so that several drones enter Russian airspace. Here is exactly how it can hit Russian targets. As the drones bypass the final defensive ring around the Kapotnya district, if at least one of the munitions made a direct terminal dive into the heart of the facility, specifically targeting the bulk fuel storage and distillation infrastructure. It carries a warhead weighing 50 kilogram or 110 pounds. This is how the drone's explosive payload detonated upon impact, with this heavy steel exterior of massive fuel storage tank, instantly igniting the highly pressurized and volatile hydrocarbons toward inside. The fire rapidly expanded inside the enclosed space, creating an immense localized pressure spike that the structure simply was not built to contain. The explosive shockwave violently sheared the welded seams connecting the tank's walls to its roof. The sheer kinetic force of this blast can cause a secondary explosion, thereby creating a chain reaction. For more original videos, check out the links here.